Spring, 1974. An ordinary courtyard in a Moscow suburb. Little Sasha Pichushkin, 5 years old, swings on old swings. Rusty chains creak, wind chills his cheeks, sun blinds his eyes. He laughs, pushes harder with his feet, higher, even higher, and suddenly loses balance, falls backward. The heavy metal seat of the swing slams full force right into his forehead. A dull thud like a hammer on wood. Blood instantly floods his face, hot and sticky. Sasha screams so piercingly that windows in neighboring houses fly open one after another. His mother rushes out barefoot, scoops him up. Her dress soaks with blood immediately. At the hospital, doctors shake their heads. Skull fracture, concussion, possible frontal lobe damage. Stitches are applied roughly, without extra words. He'll live, but they don't finish. From that day, Sasha became different. Before he was noisy, ran with boys, fought over a ball. Now he sits silent for hours, stares at the floor. Stuttering appears gradually. Words stick in his throat like bones. At school, they tease him. Stutterer! Stutterer! He doesn't cry, doesn't complain, just stares in a way that makes bullies look away. His mother works 2 jobs. Father left long ago when Sasha was 3. In the evenings, she finds her son at grandfather's old chessboard. Pieces set perfectly. He plays against himself, whispers moves. Checkmate in 3, he mutters. Chess becomes his refuge. No mockery here. Here he decides fates. Black and white squares, his first world where he is God. By age 12, he beats adults in the park. By 16, almost never loses. But inside, emptiness grows. Chess no longer suffices. He needs a real game. Summer 1992. Moscow still breathes perestroika. Empty shelves, queues, but freedom and chaos in the air. Sasha is 18. Already tall, thin, with cold eyes and a slight smile that makes people uneasy. Classmate Misha, sturdy guy, loves to drink, brags. Sasha invites him to Bitsa Park in the evening. Come on, my dog is buried there. Let's remember him. Misha agrees. Free vodka, why not? They walk along the path. Leaves rustle, mosquitoes buzz, smell of damp earth and pine. Sasha carries a bottle and hammer in his backpack. Old, heavy, darkened handle. At the dog's grave, actually just a pit he dug earlier, they sit. Misha drinks first, laughs. You're crazy, man. Sasha smiles wider. When Misha turns away, he pulls out the hammer. One blow, to the temple. Crack of bone, blood sprays on grass. Misha falls, gasps. Sasha hits again, until the skull softens. Silence. Only his own breathing, fast, excited. He drags the body to the sewer manhole, lid already shifted. Drops it down, hears dull splash. Stands a minute, stares into darkness. Heart pounds like a drum. This is better than chess, he thinks. Walks home. Mother sleeps. He washes hands, lies down. Morning he gets up as if nothing happened. Goes to play chess in the park. First square filled. After the first murder, 7 long years passed. Sasha Pichushkin didn't disappear, didn't leave, didn't go mad. He simply lived. Ordinary life, like millions of Muscovites at that time. Alarm at 6:30, cold shower, hot water cut off for non-payment, then bus to work. First as a loader at a warehouse. Heavy boxes, smell of dust and sweat, foreman's shouts. Then, at the Magnet supermarket on the cash register, he stood behind the counter in a blue vest, scanned receipts, smiled at customers just enough not to arouse suspicion. Thank you for your purchase, he said quietly, almost tenderly. People smiled back. Ordinary guy, polite, doesn't snap. At home, a tiny room in a communal apartment in southern Moscow. Mother no longer works, is ill, lies all day. Sasha brings groceries, cooks soup, stays silent. In the evenings, he sits at the table, sets up the chessboard, plays against himself for hours. Pieces move quickly, fingers tap on wood. Sometimes he whispers, "Check, mate." But inside, emptiness. The first murder didn't quench the thirst, it only ignited it. He remembered that crack of the skull, the splash in the manhole, the smell of blood on his hands, and his body trembled. Not with fear, but excitement. He often went to Bitsa Park, not to kill, not yet, just walked, listened to the wind rustling in the treetops, crows cawing overhead. Sometimes he stopped at that very sewer manhole. The lid was back in place, no one found anything. The body decomposed, sank in the drains. Sasha squatted, ran his fingers over the rusty metal. "You were the first," he whispered, "but not the last." In those moments, he felt alive. The rest of the time, like in a fog. Work, home, chess. He didn't drink, didn't smoke, made no friends. Girls? No. Sex didn't interest him, only control, only the game. Sometimes he fantasized, imagined luring someone new, an old woman from the market, a drunk man near the metro, a teenager looking for adventure. In his mind, he drew the hammer blow, inserted the bottle, watched life drain away. But every time he stopped. Fear? No. Calculation. He knew. Kill too often, you get caught. Need to wait. Need the police to forget, the park to become safe again. He waited like a predator in ambush. 7 years. 7 empty squares on the board. By 2000, the emptiness became unbearable. Chess no longer saved him. He understood. It's time. The game must continue. May 2001. Moscow already smells of summer. Poplar fluff flies through the streets like snow in hell. Asphalt heats up during the day, and in the evenings, Bitsa Park air becomes thick with moisture and the scent of rotting leaves. Sasha is 27. Still the same, thin, tall, with a slight stoop from warehouse work, eyes like 2 grey stones. 7 years of silence made him more cautious. He doesn't rush. He waited until the park became safe again. The police long forgot about that old missing guy case. No body, no case. Evening of May 17th. Sasha leaves home after shift. In his backpack, bottle of Stolichnaya, couple of sandwiches, hammer, wrapped in cloth so it doesn't clank, and plastic bags. He walks 40 minutes to the park, his ritual. On the way, he rehearses in his head. Smile, quiet voice, offer to honor the dog. He knows the park is full of lonely people, drunks, pensioners, sometimes random passers-by taking a shortcut home. He spots the victim almost immediately, man about 45, in an old jacket, sitting on a bench, smoking cheap Prima. Sasha approaches slowly, sits next to him. "Uncle, got a smoke?" Man nods, hands the pack. Conversation starts easily, about life, work, how everything sucks. Sasha smiles. "Come on, my dog is buried not far. Let's remember him properly. I've got a bottle." Man hesitates a second, but vodka wins. They go deeper into the park. Path narrows, trees close in, streetlight barely penetrates. Sasha feels his heart speed up. Not fear, anticipation. At the grave, old pit he refreshed, they sit. Open the bottle. Man drinks greedily, praises. Good vodka. Sasha nods, waits for the moment. When the man turns to light a cigarette, Sasha pulls out the hammer. Blow, precise, to the back of the head. Crack like a dry branch snapping. Man falls face down. Sasha hits 3 more times, quick, hard. Blood flows onto grass, mixes with dirt. Silence. Only his own breathing, heavy, intermittent. Sasha turns the body, looks at the face, eyes already glassy. He takes the vodka bottle, smashes the neck on a stone, inserts the sharp edge into the head wound. Glass enters with a squelch. So he wouldn't stay silent, he mutters. Body still twitches. Sasha watches life drain completely, then hides the corpse in bushes, shallow, but enough so dogs don't find it right away. He returns home the same way, washes hands at a metro fountain, goes to bed. Morning, to work. Second square filled. The game resumed. Now Sasha had a practice script, like a chess opening he played hundreds of times in his head. It all started with one phrase. "Let's go on my dog." He said it quietly, with a sad smile, looking into the eyes. This phrase worked perfectly in 2000 Moscow. Free booze plus sympathy for a lost friend. Who would refuse? Especially those whose life had long gone downhill. Homeless, alcoholics, lonely pensioners, sometimes just random people tired of the metro. He chose victims in the park or nearby, at metro exits, on benches by the market, in shady alleys. Never rushed. First, conversation about weather, prices, how hard life is. Sasha knew how to listen, nodded, agreed, poured more. When the person relaxed, trusted, Sasha offered, "My dog's grave is not far. Come on, let's sit, remember him properly." Most went. On the way he was silent or spoke little. Path went deeper, city noise faded. Only rustle of leaves and mosquito song remained. Smell, earth, pine, sometimes faint rot from old leaves. Sasha felt his body fill with strength, adrenaline like before a decisive chess game. At the grave, always the same pit he cleaned and refreshed, they sat. Bottle opened. Victim drank first. Sasha refilled, smiled. The strike moment was always the same, when the person turned away to light a cigarette, look at the sky, just relax. Hammer flew from behind, heavy, precise. First blow, to temple or back of head. Crack of bone echoed in Sasha's ears like music. Person fell. Sasha hit more, 5 to 10 times until skull became mush and blood soaked the ground. Then, ritual. Broken bottle in the wound. He inserted it slowly, with pleasure, feeling glass enter soft tissue. "So you keep talking to me," he whispered to the dead. Bodies hidden shallow, under bushes, in pits, sometimes just covered with leaves. Animals and time did the rest. He left calmly, washed hands in a stream or fountain, went home. Mother asked, "Where were you?" "Walking." He went to bed feeling full, squares filled, game proceeded. For Sasha, every blow was a separate note in a symphony. The hammer, not just a tool, but an extension of his hand, of his will. He bought it at the market for 300 rubles. Ordinary construction hammer, wooden handle darkened with time. Weight, exactly enough to pierce skull in one motion, but not too heavy to tire. He carried it in backpack, wrapped in an old t-shirt. When pulling it out, metal chilled fingers, and that sensation soothed him. Blow always came unexpectedly, from above down with swing. Sound, wet crunch like fresh bone breaking. Blood sprayed like a fountain. Warm metallic taste. He sometimes licked from fingers. Sasha hit methodically. First, stun. Second, break. Third, fourth, finish. 5 to 12 blows on average. He counted aloud in whisper. 1, 2, 3. Each blow echoed in his body as vibration, like orgasm stretched in time. After death came the second act. He turned body face up, if it fell down, parted hair, looked at shattered forehead. Then took bottle, usually cheap vodka 0.5 litre, smashed neck on stone, crack of glass like gunshot in silence. Inserted sharp edge into wound. Slowly, with effort, glass entered with squelching sound, sometimes crunched, breaking on bone. Blood flowed down bottle, down Sasha's hands. He held it minute 2, feeling body still twitch. Now you're mine, he thought. Smell, blood, alcohol, earth, victim's sweat. Sasha inhaled deeply. This was his victory perfume. Then hid body, buried shallow or masked with branches. Left. Washed hands in nearest stream, water icy, washed red away. Home. Shower. Tea. Chess. On board. New square. He marked date with pencil. Game continued. Hammer sang. 2001 to 2002 became acceleration time for Sasha. He no longer just killed. He honed his style like a chess player practicing gambits. Bitsa Park turned into his personal board. Every path, every bush, every manhole, familiar squares. He went out almost every 10 to 14 days when inner emptiness became unbearable. Work at Magnets went on. He smiled at customers, scanned receipts, but thoughts were in the park. First victims after return were those no one seriously searched for. 52-year-old man, former military, alcoholic after divorce. Sasha met him at metro exit, offered a cigarette, then honor the dog. Hammer to temple, body in bushes. Week later, 58-year-old pensioner woman, shortcut through park after visiting friend. Sasha approached from behind as she stopped to smoke. 10 blows, skull split, bottle deep in wound sticking out. He didn't select by gender or age. Main thing, lonely and trusting. 60-year-old grandfather just sitting on bench complaining about pension. Sasha sat nearby, listened, offered drink, then hammer. Body left under bush like trash. Another, 35-year-old homeless sleeping on bench. Sasha woke him. Come on, brother, honor my dog, I've got a bottle. Homeless went, never returned. Over 2 years, more than 10 bodies, all within 500 to 800 meters of Central Alley. Some found by mushroom pickers in autumn, decomposing, black-faced, with bottles or branches in heads. Police wrote off as drunken fights or accidents. No one connected dots. Sasha knew it. He read newspapers, watched news, and smiled. I'm invisible, he thought. Squares filled, 3rd, 4th, 5th. He marked them with pencil on board at home under lamp. Each cross brought rush, like drinking cold water after long thirst. Mother grew sicker, but he cared mechanically. His real life was in the park. This was his most recognizable signature, what investigators later called the trademark. After victims stopped breathing, Sasha began the ritual. He always turned body face up, wanted to see eyes, even if glassy. Parted hair cleared blood from wound with fingers. Wound, deep, ragged, with protruding bone shards. Then bottle. Usually the same one they drank from, 0.5-litre cheap vodka. Smashed neck on nearest stone or tree. Sharp crack. Shards flew like sparks. Held bottle by bottom, sharp edge down. Inserted slowly. First pressed, feeling resistance of skin and muscle, then pushed harder. Glass entered with wet squelch, sometimes crunched, breaking deeper. Blood flowed down bottle, down Sasha's fingers, warm, thick. He didn't hurry, held 30 to 60 seconds, watched body twitch in final spasms. So brain wouldn't leak and they keep talking to me, he explained to investigators years later. Actually more, sense of power. Inserting bottle sealed victim inside him. Last move in game, checkmate, but not ordinary. Orgasm without sex, waves of pleasure from fingers to nape, sometimes whispered to dead, now you're part of the board. Not always instant death. 2 or 3 still conscious when glass entered, gasped, jerked, tried to push hand away. Sasha pressed harder, smiled. Quiet, quiet. Then released. Body stilled. White hands on leaves, hid corpse. Left. Home. Washed hands with soap 3 times. Looked in mirror. Eyes shone. Square filled. This ritual repeated with almost every victim. Became his signature, what later gave him away to police. But then, in 2001 to 2003, no one connected. Bottle sang its song. 2003, peak. Sasha no longer held back. Inner emptiness grew faster than he filled squares. He went to park almost weekly, sometimes twice. Bitsa forest became his home, knew every path, pit, tree. Smell of wet earth after rain, crow cawing, leaf rustle, all excited him more than before. Victims flowed. 45-year-old man returning from work through park. Sasha approached with bottle. Brother, let's honor my dog, hard alone. Blow, body in bushes. 62-year-old grandma picking mushrooms. She smiled at stranger. Sasha struck from behind. Bottle entered wound while woman still alive. 38-year-old guy walking dog. Dog ran away. Owner left with shattered skull. Bodies found more often. Autumn mushroom pickers stumbled on decomposing remains. Black faces, protruding bottles. Once children playing in park found hands sticking from leaves. Police came, inspected, saw no links. Drunk. Felon hit head. Suicide. Sasha read in newspapers and laughed quietly. They're blind. He started photographing some bodies. Old film camera. Close-ups. Smashed forehead. Bottle in wound. Blood on grass. Hid films in box under bed. Sometimes took out. Looked in dark. Felt rush. Squares filled fast. By end of 2003, about 20 to 22 crosses on board. He wanted 64, full board. Like in chess, beautiful when everything filled. Mother in hospital, cancer. Sasha visited, brought fruit, but thoughts in park. He knew. Soon moment when he couldn't stop. Madness grew. Game entered endgame. Not all victims died immediately. In the chaos of blows, in haste, in park darkness, the hammer sometimes missed or force was insufficient. Sasha wasn't always perfect. He was human, not machine. This left traces. 3 survived. 3 who could have stopped him earlier but didn't. First, 49-year-old man, summer 2002. Sasha lured as usual. Let's honor the dog. Blow not to temple, but angle to back of head. Hammer slid across skull. Cracked bone, but didn't kill instantly. Man fell, gasped, tried to stand. Sasha hit twice more, but panic, darkness, fear of being seen. Inserted bottle shallow, threw body in bushes, fled. Man regained consciousness in hour. Blood in eyes, head pounding, but crawled to alley. Found by passers-by at 3 a.m. Half naked, bloody, muttering. Hammer, dog, grave. Hospital, severe TBI, coma 3 days. Survived. But memory almost erased. Post-trauma amnesia. Remembered only guy with bottle and dog grave. Police took statement, but no face, no name. Case stalled. Second, 55-year-old woman, autumn 2004. Walking through park after store shift. Sasha from behind. First blow, she instinctively ducked. Hammer grazed shoulder and temple. She screamed, fell, crawled. Sasha hit again. Bottle in wound, not deep. Heard footsteps distant. Mushroom pickers or joggers, fled. Woman reached road, picked up by car. Hospital. Skull fracture, lost eye, left side paralysis. Described attacker. Tall, thin, grey eyes, smiling. But Sasha's photo never shown, not suspected. She died 6 months later from complications. Third, most important, 2006, near end. 28-year-old guy. Sasha hit hard, but victim partially dodged. Blow to shoulder, then head. Bottle entered, not fatal. Guy played dead. Sasha left. Guy waited till morning, crawled to park exit. Hospital, severe trauma, survived. Month later, identified Sasha from newspaper photo after arrest. That's him. This testimony became key. These three could have changed everything. But system failed. Statements scattered, descriptions didn't match, park huge. Sasha continued. Survivors became his mistakes and future-proof. 2005 to 2006, climax. Sasha no longer fully controlled himself. Inner emptiness turned to hunger. He killed more often, sometimes twice a week. Bitsa Park, his kingdom, knew where police patrolled, rarely, where dogs walked, where mushroom pickers appeared in autumn. Went out after work when dark early. Backpack always ready. Hammer, bottles, bags. In 1.5 years, more than 20 murders. Victims more varied, not just drunks and old, but random people. 40-year-old woman returning from work. Sasha approached. "Honor my dog?" She went, vanished. 32-year-old guy walking with headphones. Blow, body in pit. He photographed more. Faces before death, shattered skulls after. Hid films in box, his trophy album. He felt like God. I decide who lives, who dies. Like chess, I move first. Board at home filling. By spring 2006, only 3 empty squares. He wanted 64, perfect game. Sometimes went to park daytime, watched people, chose future victims. Smiled at them. They smiled back. No one sensed danger. Mother died early 2006. Sasha buried her quietly. At funeral, cried, but not grief. From no one asking anymore, "Where were you?" Freedom absolute. He killed more. Bodies found more. Spring 2006, 3 at once. Police nervous, but still no links. Sasha laughed. They won't guess. Last month's euphoria. No longer hid bodies carefully, left closer to paths. Wanted found. Wanted world know his game. But he didn't know. End near. June 14th, 2006. Heat. Moscow suffocates in stuffiness. Asphalt melts. People walk slowly. Sasha finishes shift at Magnet at 8 p.m. Tired, but inside, excitement. 2 squares left on board. He decided. Today. Marina Moskaleva, 36. Ordinary woman, divorced, teenage son, works seller in same store. Sasha knew her face, worked together. She smiled at him sometimes. That evening she stayed late, closing cash register. Sasha approached. "Marina, let's walk?" "My dog buried in park, hard alone." She hesitated. Son home, but agreed. "Okay, not long." They left together. Store cameras captured. Sasha and Marina walk to exit. He smiles. In park, already dark. Familiar path. Sasha carries bottle. They talk about work, life. Marina complains about teenage son. Sasha nods. At grave, sit. Open bottle. She drinks little. Not used to. Sasha refills. Moment. She turns to look at stars. Sasha pulls hammer. Blow to temple. She falls. He hits more. 5 times. Blood on grass. Bottle in wound. Marina alive few minutes. Gasps. Sasha watches. Then hides body shallow. But Marina left son note on table. Going walk with Sasha from store. Back late. Son saw morning. Scared. Called police. Cameras checked. Sasha and Marina together. Beginning of end. Sasha home. Washed. Went to bed. Thought. 1 more square. One left. He didn't know. Police already searching him. June 15th, 2006. Ordinary morning. Sun filters through dirty communal windows. Mother gone. Apartment silence echoing. Sasha wakes at 6:30 as always. Shower, coffee, magnet uniform. Looks in mirror. Eyes calm, smile habitual. On homeboard, 61 crosses. 1 square left. Thinks. Today or tomorrow, finish. Leaves home, walks to metro. Air warm, smells dust and gasoline. Approaching store, notices 2 plainclothes men at entrance. They stare straight at him. Sasha doesn't speed up, walks evenly. Heart beats slightly faster, but face calm. One approaches. Alexander Pichushkin. Sasha stops, nods slowly. Yes. Second shows ID. Moscow criminal investigation. Come with us. Sasha doesn't resist. No shouting, no running. Just nods. Okay. They sit in car. On the way, Sasha silent, looks out window. At station, into office. Table, chair, recorder. Investigator, young, tired, asks, "Know why you're here?" Sasha smiles, corner of mouth. "I know." He starts talking immediately. No lawyer, no pressure. "I killed 63 people, all in Bitsa Park. Want, I'll show." Investigators exchange glances. Think, bluff. But Sasha continues. Details, dates, places. First, 1992, classmate. Last, Marina Moskaleva, June 14th. She worked with me. They check, matches. Son's note, cameras. Sasha doesn't repent. He's proud. "I'm a genius. I surpassed Chikatilo. He killed for sex, I for game." Demands. Record all 63, not 48, all. Investigators shocked. He smiles wider. "Finally, you found me." Put in cell, sleeps calmly. First night without emptiness. Game revealed. Next day's tour of hell. Investigators decide, let him show. June 18th, 2006. Sasha in handcuffs, under escort, driven to Bitsa Park. In regular clothes, jeans, jacket, sneakers. Smiles like tourist. "It all started here," he says cheerfully. They walk paths. Sasha points. Here, man 2001. Hammer blow, bottle in head. Investigators dig, find bones. Here, grandma, autumn 2003. She gathered mushrooms. Another pit, more remains. He remembers everything, dates, approximate time, even weather sometimes. It rained. Mud made hiding hard. At one grave he lingers longer. Here I inserted bottles so deep it broke inside. She still twitched. Investigators pale. Sasha smiles. Beautiful, right? He walks like museum guide. This is my favorite corner. Quiet. No interruptions. They find 14 bodies in days, many in indicated spots. Sasha calm, proud of accuracy. I don't forget moves. When shown Marina's photo, nods. Yes, she was good. Shame had to. Evening at station, he draws park map on sheet. Crosses, arrows, numbers. Here, 48 confirmed. Rest, search. Investigators horrified. He remembers faces, names, if new. Even what's said to victims before blow. This wasn't confession, demonstration. Sasha showed his world, his board, his game. 2007, Moscow City Court. Hall packed. Journalists, victims' relatives, curious. Sasha in glass cage, tall, thin, grey robe. Smiles at cameras. No repentance, enjoys attention. Prosecutor reads, 48 murders, 3 attempts. Sasha interrupts. No, 63. Record all. Judge bangs gavel. Sasha continues. I wanted to fill board. 64 squares. Perfect game. Chikatilo killed from passion. I, from art. Main evidence. His own chessboard seized from apartment. Pencil, crosses and dates. 61 filled. Sasha demands. Show it to court. Board brought. Hall gasps. He explains. Each cross, life. Each, my move. Witnesses, survivors, relatives. Marina's son cries. He smiled at her at work. Sasha looks indifferent. Psychologists. Sociopath, narcissism, complete lack of empathy. Sasha comments. I'm not sick, I'm just different. Verdict. October 15th, 2007. Life imprisonment. First 15 years solitary. Sasha shouts, I'm genius! I surpassed everyone! Led away. Cage door slams. Board remains in case. 61 crosses. 3 empty squares. Sasha knew. Game not over. October 15th, 2007. Moscow City Court Hall buzzes with tension. Lamplight cuts eyes, air heavy with sweat, perfume and fear. Sasha sits in a glass cage, like exhibit in horror museum. Grey robe, short-cropped hair, face calm, almost pleased. Victims' relatives in hall. Some cry quietly, others stare as if wanting to tear glass with hands. Journalists snap photos. Judge, middle-aged woman, tired voice, reads verdict. Pichushkin Alexander Yuryevich found guilty of 48 murders and 3 attempted murders. Considering extreme cruelty, public danger, lack of remorse, sentenced to life imprisonment, first 15 years in strict regime prison. Sasha stands abruptly, voice loud, confident. I'm a genius. I surpassed Chikatilo. He killed from lust. I, from higher meaning. Record all 63. You don't know the full game yet. Hall erupts in shouts. Someone from relatives jumps. Bastard! Guards remove them. Sasha smiles wider, enjoys chaos. Judge bangs gavel, demands silence. Verdict final. Appeal denied. Led away down corridor. Handcuffs clink. Walks evenly. No looking back. Cell door slams with metallic clang. Silence. Sits on bunk. Stares at wall. In head, bored. 61 crosses. 3 empty squares. He knows. Game not over. Rules just changed. Now plays alone. April 2025. Polar owl colony. Eternal permafrost of Yamal. -45 outside window. Sasha in solitary cell. Concrete. Iron bunk. Tiny barred window. First 15 years solitary ended 2022, but not transferred. Left here. Reads books. Plays chess alone on paper. Writes letters to nowhere. Suddenly, administration statement. Sasha calls investigator. Speaks calmly. Ready to confess 11 more murders. All in Bitsa Park. 2001 to 2005. Show locations. Investigator shocked. Case closed 19 years ago. But check. Sasha draws new maps. Names names, if remembers. Describes details. In 2026, as of March, new confessions unconfirmed. Exhumations yielded nothing. Bodies long decomposed. Park partially built over. Traces gone. Some criminologists bluff. Sasha wants attention, wants new interrogations, wants feel in game again. Others believe he truly remembers more. Filed, cassation, requests transfer to colony closer to Moscow. Want normal conditions for thinking. Denied. Sasha smiles at surveillance camera, nose watched. Game continues, he whispers. 3 empty squares still wait, in his head. Sasha Pichushkin still in Polar Owl, age 52, hair grey, face gaunt from cold and solitude, but eyes same, grey, empty, cold. Sits on bunk, stares at wall. On paper, chessboard drawn in pencil. 61 crosses, 3 empty squares. He doesn't regret, doesn't repent. For him, murders were art, higher meaning. Without it, I'm dead inside, he said in court. And now, in Arctic hell, lives on memories. Every day imagines new moves he didn't make. Imagines filling last squares. World almost forgot him. News of new confessions flashed and gone. Victims' relatives age, die. Bitsa Park changed. New paths, lights, people walk dogs. But somewhere underground, under leaves and time, bones lie. His board. Sasha knows, game not over. While empty squares exist, hope exists. He waits for the moment to place final dot. Because for him, life without murder is just empty board. End of story, but not end of game.